good.
Uh-huh. Typically see your ball fade just a little bit.
Yeah, if anything, just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I can usually hit it straight.
Yeah.
A little faster.
Okay. Let's hit some
All heavy.
drivers. So, tees in here. Just dump a few out for you. Yeah, you're fine there.
All right.
Yep.
That was pretty good for me. I just pulled it a little. Falling back, but that's probably just a little bit short.
Okay. So what has been some things that you've kind of worked on in the past to create more speed or?
So lately, my thoughts are to try to take it away with my right hand and my right shoulder, so I turn
Uh-huh.
and keep this arm straight,
Uh-huh.
and then don't swing hard. If I swing hard, then I'll start to pull it left.
Okay.
But if I go nice and easy, then I can get, 220, 230 on a good drive.
Okay.
But
All right, go ahead and hit one more drive for me. I'll actually have you tee up just over here if you could. Like right there. Okay.
my book, that was perfect.
That was a good one. Yeah. All right. I'm going to have you do a couple of exercises for me with these sticks. So just take that. Let me take your driver from you. Stand over here for me. And what I want you to do is just pull it, stick back, and swish it through the air. Just one-handed. Do you have any shoulder issues or no injuries or anything you're dealing with right now?
Titanium collarbone. But
You do?
That doesn't bother me.
Okay. All right. Is that a recent surgery or a long time surgery?
3 years ago.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so what I want you to do is just one-handed take the club back or take the stick back and swish it through the air for me.
Hand?
Yeah, well, you're going to do both, but we'll start with the right hand. Good. All right, so let's do the left hand. All right, so our speed, it's a two-handed game, right? So, and our speed is tied to both arms, and our club head speed is relative to the weakest or slowest arm, right? So as you do your swishes, go ahead and swish again for me. All right, that was better.
Yeah.
Now, can you hear where the swish sound is happening? So try it again.
I think it's back in here.
Yeah, so I want you to tell me where the sound starts loudest and where it ends.
Probably here to here.
It starts here and it's ending up here. Okay, so now do it with your right hand. Right, fastest point was here.
Still in here.
Right, because you're starting the swish here.
Yeah.
By the time it peaks, it's over here, and then as the speed slows down, it goes through the upper half. Right. So in order for you to create speed here, you actually have to start speed at your midline, right, of your chest, just under your buttons, and go all the way through. Right. So go ahead and try to swish it starting at this height up here. There you go. Right. So you threw your hands and arms faster from the top to here, so that the wrist from about waist through could accelerate. Right. So go ahead and try that again. Right. So that was way late. Yeah, because you have way too much lag in your wrist, and you're holding it too long. Right. So you're trying to create speed here. You shouldn't be trying to create it there. You should be trying to create it here.
Oh, see, I've been trying to pull back.
Right. So there's two red flags that one red flag that you said, which is if I go back and then I just swing through smooth, I hit it 230. Well, if you're trying to gain distance, the last thing you want to be doing is swinging smooth. You got to smash it, right? And when you do try to smash it, you're smashing it at the ball. You should be smashing it up here before you get to the ball, right? So go ahead and do some swishes again and see if we can get that sound. Yep, so that was still over here. You got to get it over on this side. That was it. Do that again. There you go. Okay.
That feels really weird.
This is what we want. The reason for that is because what accompanies that late throw is a slide and a turn. And when you slide and turn, you pull it straight to the left. So that's why when you swing fast, the ball goes pulled to the left, because your body turns, your shoulders turn, your swish is way late, and you pull it straight to the left, right? So what we have to do is we have to start that swish further up in the top of the downswing and further behind you, so that when you start throwing, which you're not doing this, you're doing this, right? You've got to throw it back there so that as it comes through, it makes it on a different arc, right? So if I put a stick down, like an alignment stick, and you go to the top of your backswing and stop, right? Now, look back at me and swish like you're going to swish at those carts, right? There's no way you can come over the top and hit that slice if you're swishing in that direction first, because as you come through, the club now comes from the inside out, right? So what you were doing, go ahead and go to the top and stop. As you were getting to there, you were then turning your hips and your body. Your handle then got to there because you were lagging, and then you swished late and you came straight across it.
Yeah,
right.
That'll be my bad divot.
It'll be across, right? So what we have to do is we have to throw that speed. We have to throw it sooner and slightly behind. You don't have to go back at those carts. That's an exaggeration. But just back in behind you. So when I say behind you, I literally mean if your pant leg down through your knee and your foot was cutting you in half, behind you would be throwing it behind that line versus in front of you, which is out in front of your pocket, right? That's in front and lagged. That's behind and early, right? Good. So keep that going. That's what we want to do. We want to be able to throw it back here, right? So if you pictured like pushing a kid on a swing, right? This is the swing. Go ahead and give the swing a bit of a push, right? Then push it again and keep pushing it, right? Where, once it got to here, did you start pushing?
Yeah, way up
You're
here.
pushing up here, right? And the direction that you're pushing, go ahead and push it. Let it go to the top. You're not pushing to the ball. Which way are you pushing?
Down.
Down, right? So when you pull that stick up, you have to throw the force and the weight down and behind here so that it then carries through and smashes into the ball, right? So let's do that with the driver. Now you get to do it with two hands, right? And what's really important, another red flag that you mentioned, was you tried to keep your left arm really straight. When you stiffen your arms, your muscles stiffen. They slow down when they're tight. So, since you're a right-hand dominant athlete anyway, let's make sure that that left arm is super loose. I don't necessarily want you to apply speed with the left arm yet, although that would be a good thing to do eventually. At this point, I just want the left arm to kind of take a vacation, make sure it's loose. Because if you go back stiff, that's another thing that happens when you're here. You turn your hips with a stiff arm, and that club goes out over the top. If your arm is soft and you turn just a little bit, just because your arm is soft, you can keep it on the inside, right? So let's make some swings. Good. So the location, so turn back and stop. Do your backswing. Look back here. You're throwing it kind of over here hard, right, with that right hand. And bend your left elbow a little bit so that you can really create some speed. There you go. And go ahead. Excellent. Right, so now we're creating more speed, but we're also pushing it on the proper track.
That was late, right?
A little bit late, but it was on a better path. Yep. There you go. You can just hear how much faster it is, right? Good. Now let's tee up a ball in front of that track man, and we'll do it again. You can move that stick out of the way. All right. So do your setup. We don't care where the ball goes. Do that same swing. Let's aim a little bit more left, like you're going down the, yeah, that way. Give a big wind up and just throw it like we were working on. Good. You see where it went? Okay. So here's what happened to your club head speed. It went from 83 miles an hour to 94 miles an hour. So you went 11 miles an hour club head speed, which is amazing, right?
Yep.
Anybody who swings at 94 miles an hour club head speed starts flying the ball 250 and going to 270 instead of doing what you're doing, which was landing it at like 190 and rolling to 220, right?
Yeah.
So, problem is, you hit that ball extremely far to the right. Well, that's a grip problem. It's not a swing problem. So go ahead and take your grip, and I'll show you how to fix your grip. All right, so you're still going to throw it as hard as you just did. Basically, what we're going to do is you're going to take both hands and you're going to turn them way to the right. There you go. Now, when you do that big, massive throw, go ahead and swing back and stop. All right, so you're wound up. You go ahead and go slow-mo. See, watch this. Now your hands are going to come through how you held them at the beginning. Like that. Well, now, with that grip, that's the face that you got, right? Before, go ahead and put your old grip back on there. Your hands would throw like crazy, and they would come to here. Except, that's the face you got. So it's a real simple equation. If your hands are going to come through like that, let's just make sure the face looks like that when your hands come through. Make sense?
Yeah, so let me.
Right now we don't know exactly where we're going to land yet with the grip, but if you turn it that far and then throw it like you did, there you go. So now that went dead straight at 91 miles an hour, right? Because you didn't throw it as fast as you were trying to throw it before.
Right. It's still 91. I can't get over 80.
84 is where you were,
like my best.
right? So let's aim down, way down the left for me. See the top of that mountain? Yeah, on the far left. I'm going to turn the TrackMan a little bit this way. Turn your hands even further. Keep going. Now notice what happens when you turn your hands. Your right shoulder drops, right? So take your stance, swing back and stop for me, right? With that shoulder lower, it's easier now for you to throw back here, right? So set your hands behind, and let me check real quick because it looks like you're opening the face a touch, right? So make sure that face still looks like that, right? Now this seems extreme because it is, right? Now just throw it as fast as you want. Good. Now you see where that one went?
Yeah.
Okay. So that one you threw at 94 miles an hour. It went left. Reason is, we go back to the beginning where your body likes to turn early. Well, now we know this is not a body speed swing. It's a hands speed swing, right? Just like you were swishing that stick, you're gonna swish the stick. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do your legs. You don't need to do your shoulders. Once you've turned and got your arms back there, just primarily use that right hand and throw it as fast as you want. Turn that grip under. Hang on, keep turning. Okay, good. Now throw it fast for me. Because that ball didn't hook because of the grip. That ball hooked because your body turned. Yeah. Yep, so set your hands under and throw it fast for me. Boom, there you go. So now we got them to kind of net out 0 together, right? So the throwing behind you kind of canceled out where the face was, and then check this out, look. So now your club head speed on that one was 95 miles an hour. It flew 205 and rolled to 242, right? Now, this is going to jump considerably when this number, the smash factor number, goes up. Because that was a 1.35, we can get that up to 1.48 or 1.50 with better contact. And better contact's just going to come with more repetition, right? So let's give this procedure another shot. Turn that grip. Relax your arms, right? Super relaxed. There you go. And you're going to smash it with your arms, not your body. Good. All right, so that was 93 miles an hour, 1.40 smash, so it was better smash. Carried 214, went to 233. So let's keep it going. Yeah, there you go. Fast, early throw, right? Don't wait for this thing. You got to throw it early. There you go. All right, so now that throw is getting better. That was 94 miles an hour again. Because you got the club face turned, it was a 1.45 smash. Went to a total of 252. And we're getting somewhere. All right, so turn the hands again. Let's do a couple practice swings because I want to hear that thing whistle back here. Oh yeah, that was it. Do that again. Turn that grip more though. And really turn and throw. There we go. See, we're gonna crack, we might even get 100 today if you keep that up. Yeah. That's an oops. right? 96 though, right? So to go from max previous at 85 all the way to 96, I'd say we're doing pretty good. Yep, turn those hands though. So here's the way this is working, right? So hold the club up in the air like a baseball bat for me, right? Pull it back like a baseball bat. Just relax your arms. No, don't cock back there. Just relax your shoulders. Or bend this. The bat's here.
Oh, a bat.
Yeah, the bat.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if you were to slowly come through to kind of here, this is where your bat hands want to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But those bat hands don't match that open face. So we leave the bat hands there and we wiggle the face closed. Now we have a straight face that matches the bat hands. All right? So when you wind up, the backswing is just to facilitate the speed of the arms.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back with any tension, or you guide it back, or you try to go inside, outside, up, or down, you're mentally thinking about placing your hands in a location. It doesn't really matter. They just have to get back behind you so that you can do the throw part. So I don't want you to overthink that backswing.
Mm-hmm.
Pull it back so that it's now in a place that feels comfortable, that you can throw your hands as fast as you want.
So this is, in my mind, way overdone.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's go for it. Now let's aim way left. So aim over there for me. Right, stand a little taller, a little closer to the ball for me. So you're casual here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just pull that bat back and chuck it. Yeah, be relaxed, just kind of pull it back and throw it hard. There you go. Right? So that was good. So now that one there, 94.8 miles an hour.
94, right?
Yep, 94.8, 1.38, went a total of 248, right? So just keep it going. We're not smashing it in the sweet spot yet. Keep the extreme hands so that you can really throw it. There you go. All right, so that was 96 miles an hour. It was 95.7 miles an hour. That was a 1.45 smash, so it went a total of 260. Right, so your first drives that we hit.
So let's just keep that right there.
Right, one of them carried. That was one that you said you hit pretty good. Carried 177, went to 210 with an 83.4. Next one, that was an 83.5. That was a good one. Carried 180, went to 207. All right, next one. This is when we started to go up faster. Mm-hmm. So this one out here was the first couple, 94, 93, and then we fixed your grip. Now we're over here. 94 and 252, 95, 242, 95, 248, and that last one, 96, 260. So you see how this is working?
Yep.
It's good news.
Exactly opposite from what I've been trying to do.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get this to be really slow in here.
Yeah. Because what was happening is you were using a holding type. You were stiffening your arm, slowing down your swing. You were guiding the path. You were trying to guide through impact. Right? These are all horrible words for speed.
Yeah.
But the reason is because you didn't know how to get your club on plane and on path with speed. Mm-hmm. So this is everything I just showed you shows you exactly how you're supposed to do that. Now that you've got your speed on path and plane, now it's a game of how do we match up the face? Do we overdo it? Do we underdo it? We've got some really straight shots already, and it feels like a pretty extreme grip. Well, maybe that's what we need, but we won't know that until we've done, a few more swings. Good. right? So 94 miles an hour, and you popped it up a little bit. So just keep it going. One of the other factors is technology. One of the other factors is shaft flex, right? We can optimize the tool, but we can't optimize the tool until we've optimized you. Doesn't make any sense. So we'll just keep going with optimizing you first. Relax those arms. Just pull the bat back and chuck it. Yeah, that's all right. Just popped it up. So that's 2 pop-ups, so maybe just tee it lower. Don't have to change your swing, just tee it a little bit lower. Good speed still. That was 95 miles an hour still. Yeah, there you go. That was good. All right, so it's good solid contact. So that one there. 96 miles an hour, 1.46 smash. All right, went to 250. Right, but your spin rate was way too low. It was only 1700, so you lost any carry distance that you would have got from the speed. So let's do this with an iron now. All right, we'll switch gears. You're not going to get 95 out of your irons, but we know what you were getting out of a 7-iron before. I want you to tee these up because I don't want turf contact to slow you down in the beginning. Tee them up a little higher than that. You know, give yourself some room, right? Because you're a throwing madman now, right? So let's aim this. I'm going to switch TrackMan over here, get away from these sandhill cranes. I'm going to aim you at the clubhouse, right? The clubhouse in the distance. So they see those chimneys and the bunkers way over here on the right there, way
Right
further.
the practice
Nope, keep going. You see the bunkers on number 2 fairway over here?
Oh, way over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're hitting a 7-iron, so you'll be fine. Yep, so do that super strong grip. Pull those arms up. Come in a little closer, stand taller. Yeah, there you go. Give it a good throw. Good, it's fine. Just do it again. All right, so let's see. Just as comparison on the first swing, that was 83 miles an hour on a 7-iron. And before that, you were at 74, 72 or 3, 73, 75, 75, right?
Yep.
That was a 96 that you topped. Right, so you're up 9 miles an hour on a 7-iron and like 12 miles an hour on your driver from today. So big strong grip, real tall casual stance. There you go, really good. Big wind up, big fast throw. There you go. So the throw has to be early, right?
Yeah.
Right, so that was 84 miles an hour. Here, check this out. That's a good one.
Usually 75 on the track.
Yeah, look at that. Look, that was 84. That was where the ball landed. It carried 173, right? This was where your furthest 7-iron previously. It carried 135, went to 152.
Right.
You just made it go 40 yards further in the air, and it would have, it says TrackMan's predicting it would have gone 182 total. So I think you asked for more distance when we started.
Okay, we're done.
Yeah, so aim way out there to the right, stand tall. So this is another thing I want you to start getting squared away in your head. Tension is bad, right? So look at me. When you came in, you're too squatted with the knees, too stiff with the arms, too bent over. Oh, just stand up and relax your arms. Take that super strong grip. Right? So good throw. That was 84 miles an hour. Where'd the ball go? Right. Yeah, so you just turn the grip some more. Yeah, that's it. It's a It's just a collision now because you know how to throw, right? So why'd that one go left?
I was late.
No, well, yeah, you were, because your body turned way around. So you got to throw that thing back here. Don't start spinning those hips. Legs, hips, core, that's like super advanced way of creating speed. You need just the basics of getting hand speed first. If you start throwing your legs and your shoulder rotation into it, you're just going to mess up the good throw that you're developing. Right? So here, interesting. You threw your hips and your shoulders and it dropped to 81 or 82 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So don't throw your body into it because all that's going to do is slow you down. So we just got to figure out, where do you raise your arms up to that you can just smash this thing, right? And the smashing location is here. You should be smashing back here somewhere. And then by the time that smash gets to the ball, boom, it just takes it off the tee and throws it in the air. Yeah, super relaxed and good throw. Yep. That was 83.4. Yep. Again, carried 160. Says it.
Still felt late though.
Yeah.
From what you're.
Yep, it was. It was a little late. So what I want you to do with an iron is I don't want you to throw at maximum speed. I want you to throw well, not fast. So swing back and stop for me. Yeah, really relax your arms and shoulders. Now go like this. Just, nope, nope, yep, yep. Now it's a blend. So it's not all wrist, but it's definitely not all pull. It's a blend, so do that again. There, right? So you pull your arms and throw your wrists at the same, yeah, there, right? So if I said, all right, Bob, I don't like this chair anymore. I need you to bust it up for me, right? So take your setup, right? Now before, you would put the chair here, and you would chop down on it. No, you would chop down through the top of that and really late with your hands. So you're chopping sharp and across your body, right? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull that chair and we're gonna put it further away from you and behind you. Yeah, so you're gonna smash it. Now, if you were to literally break this chair, so go back and take your axe, now just stop. This isn't gonna come down by itself. This isn't gonna flick out by itself. There's gonna be like this hammering approach, wham, so it's a blend of your arms and your hands, right? Now what's important is that right when it busts that chair, that your hands just flick and they keep going. You're not hammering and stopping, you're hammering through the chair and then flicking through the ball. So pull it back, hammer flick, boom, there it is. That was great. Right, so now we got an 83 mile an hour efficiently timed hammer flick that carried 163, which is 33 yards further than your best from earlier. So I'll leave the chair back here a little bit. And as you turn back, that's what I want you to be focusing on. Because there's a how, a where, and a when, right? So how you do it, let's do the how. So the how is a hammer flick, hammer flick, hammer flick, right? That's the how. The where you do it is slightly behind your hip, right? The when you do it is way up here. So you don't hammer flick down here someplace. You hammer flick kind of between shoulder and your waist, right? So as you hammer flick it, be slightly behind your hip and in this direction. There you go. Then the club swings through there. Make sense? All right.
And I'm trying to do the same thing as with the driver. It's just a...
Everything's the same. The only thing that changes is the angle changes a little bit. You come down to a sand wedge. You're going to be hammer flicking still behind you, but more vertical, right? Driver, you're going to hammer flick a little bit more flatter. There you go. Yep, so coming closer, stand taller. Yep, there you go. Nice wind up. There it is. Crushed it. That was your best one, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's get off the tee. Let's see how far that one went. Yeah, there you go. That was 83 miles an hour and carried basically 168. Right? So now you're just gonna shock the crap out of all the friends that you had that you play golf with. So no difference. Just find your setup position. A little taller, a little more relaxed. There you go. Give it a hammer flick behind you. Yeah, pretty close, right? So we must have mishit it slightly, maybe off the toe or something.
Toe in the grass.
Did it? Yeah, so there you go.
Felt like it.
Yeah, so you got your 82 miles an hour, but your smash factor is 1.2 because you basically hit it,
I hit it
like right there,
yeah,
off the line. You didn't even hit the sweet spot. So this is where now, as I see you athletically doing what you're supposed to be doing, now my brain starts going, what do we do with the clubs? Do we change the lie? Do we change the shaft? What do we do to start optimizing? But for now, just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, nice casual setup. That's good. Aiming out right. Hammer flick it. Good. All right, so that's a couple that you've hit, you know, slightly off the toe, right? So we'll just do a couple more. That was good speed. That was at the 83 mile an hour again. It carried 166, so that was a better strike.
And I'm a lot closer to the ball, so that's changing this lie.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, and what we're doing too, when you hammer flick, you get a little more vertical, right? Because you're learning to lever your arm swing, not so much your body swing, right? So let me see that club. Let me just kind of see what kind of lie angles. Do you happen to know?
I think they bent them down 2 degrees.
They're definitely flat. So they're flat regulars, so that's fine. Come on over here. I'm gonna have you film this for me. All right, so I'm gonna have you just stand right here. Come on over here.
Yep.
Hold the camera for me. It's still recording. So all we're gonna do is throw this in here. All right. So I'm gonna check the lie. It says 62 on a 7-iron, which is pretty close to standard, actually. But what we're gonna do, because we're hammer flicking better and more vertically, so we're gonna go up 2 or 3 degrees. All right, so now we're up at 65 instead of 66. Again, this isn't, you know, how do they say, rocket surgery?
Yeah.
Right? So, not rocket surgery. All we're doing is testing the theory. So now if you hammer flick from that vertical setup, hopefully we can now get the lie angle to cut through the turf a little bit better. Yep, so your grip was horrible on that one. Alright, so you got to get that right hand turned under, because what happened was it was on top. You basically went back to your old grip, and then you couldn't hammer flick from behind you, so you went straight over the top. So smash this chair behind you. There you go. Right? Now that one, again, 81 miles an hour. All right. Right, so good grip. Relax and stand taller. Yep, swing back and stop for me. Just relax those hands way too tight. This right hand is the one doing the job, not this one. So set it like this more so that you can smash it. If this right hand does like that, you can't smash anything from there. Now you can smash because you're pushing. I'll show you. You're pushing off of this knuckle, right? So what we have is we have in the arm, we have the extensor muscles of this arm. They extend the wrist backwards. Then we have the flexor belly that flexes. So when you're hammering, you're flexing the wrist back on itself, and then you're smashing it with that muscle. And you are capable of doing it with both hands. But that's what we're working on. Lever it up, smash it.
My swing's too hot, Craig.
Good.
I gotta cool down.
Yeah, I was worried about that when I saw it out in the sun. Yep, same thing. Raise those arms up. A little closer, a little more relaxed posture. Now remember, we're not using legs and shoulders to hit this hard. It's just arms. That's better. Because you start thrusting a hip turn and a shoulder turn into this thing, and you're just going to hit it really hard, hook, pull left. We got to get the path of the arms figured out. So think of it like a car. What we're working on right now is we're throwing gear 1 in the wrist and gear 2 in the shoulders. You start tapping into gear 3, which is the trunk, the torso, gear 4, which is the hips, and gear 5, which is the feet. You try to tap into all of those in your toast, especially if you don't get gear 1 and 2 down first. So let's aim at a little bit right, raise those arms up, and hammer, flick it down. There it is. That's best shot of your life right there. So we had 84 miles an hour clubhead speed. We had a 1.36 smash, which is really good for a 7-iron. Look at that, 171 off the deck with a nice solid crisp contact. All right, let's do it again. This is like when you buy shampoo, you just rinse, wash, repeat at this point. You're just trying to...
Yeah, until you walk away.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But hopefully we can ingrain some of it. Yeah, raise those arms up, hammer, flick it through. I still like it, even though it was a little glancing off the toe. Still not bad. Yeah, so even that one, well, yeah, like you're getting picky now. Your miss hit went 153 and still 20 yards further than a good one from before. You just got to remember this recipe. That's why I'm recording the whole thing for you. Right, so it went left. Why'd it go left?
I came through.
Yeah, your body tried to help.
Yeah.
You got to turn the hips and shoulders off for a second so that just the arms can create that speed. All right, so what I'm going to do, you're doing awesome. The proof is in the pudding. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit a couple of shots. And I'm going to have you film from right behind. So I'm going to exaggerate everything that we talked about just so that you can see it. All right, so got it? The screen's a little dark, but you should be able to see it.
Yeah.
Now, grip to the right. Why is it to the right? Because when you hammer smash behind you, your wrist is like this. And if we don't do that, then the face is going to come through and you're going to hit it straight out to the right. So we know the hands are going to do that, so we just strengthen the grip. Right? Now, when you get yourself set with this grip, you're turning back here behind you, like there's that chair, and it's a blend hammer throw, right? Or hammer flick. Because when you go through, you want your arms to flick. You want all this to be super quiet. So what I'm going to do is demonstrate what it looks like when the body does nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's an exaggeration, but this is good for video because then you can watch this and go, oh, I need to feel what that looks like. Right? So here's square stance, casual, tall, hammer flick. Right, now see all this? It's not moving. What was that?
Yeah, that's a.
Right, so there's your 81.
And you did nothing.
And I did nothing, and it went to 160 in the air, right? So I did nothing here,
Right.
but I did something here, right? So here's hammer flick again. Well, this turns a little, but it's not an applied
Mm-hmm.
turn, right? So what was that one?
87.
Yeah, 87 went to 177. So I'll do it again a little faster. Nice and tall. Hammer flick, right? Nice straight ball flight.
91.
Yeah, it went up to 91 and 187 total, right? So now I'm landing. 7 irons going around 200 in Park City because it gets up in the air,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we'll do a couple more 7s, a couple more drivers, and then maybe we'll do some chipping and putting because that's all you're going to need to be a scratch golfer from a 17, right?
Right.
Yep, set those hands, real casual body. See if you can just flick the hands a little bit, hammer flick. Right? So what I want you to blame is body movement. The extra body movement is ruining your hammer flick. That's better. More casual, less effort in the legs. Close. Right? So what I want you to do is try to do like I did, where your legs don't move, your feet don't move at all. You don't have to do this fast. Like that one there was still 84 miles an hour. Let's make this go back to 80 or 75 or something. Yeah, good. That was 82 miles an hour. Didn't change a ton,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, now that was pretty good all in all there. 83 miles an hour, went 163, right? So we've gone really fast. Throw, 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 hammer, flick, hammer, flick, hammer. It's kind of exhausting because you get to the point where you're doing it at 100% of your capacity. When you play golf, especially 18 holes a day, 3, 6, 7, 8, 12 days, right, in a row, you can't be doing it at 100% capacity. But now that you know how to do it, now you have a choice, right? Because when you get inside 100 yards, you're going to have to hammer flick at 50% sometimes because it's like a pitch shot with your 60 degree. And then once or twice around, you might grab a driver and hammer flick as hard as you can because you know the benefit is to carry a certain bunker or whatever. Most touring professionals will live right around 70 to 80% of what they're capable of. And that's because they're playing every day of the week, traveling all over the world, and there's no point in expending all of your energy in one day. Yeah, pretty close. I was a little thin.
30%, but
Yeah, so that was still 82. Yeah. So when you do take off some energy, just come a little closer, hang your arms a little heavier. Yeah, that looks
how much am I squeezing?
not at all. Because you need the flick, right? If you have tension, you can't flick it. Yep, so that was 83 miles an hour still. right, so one more 7, then we'll finish up with some drivers. Yeah, real relaxed stance. Just raise the arms and hammer flick behind you. That's all right. Right, so you lost some of your posture, right? Because what happens when you throw your arms is your body has to kind of respond to that, right? So your arms are going down, and you don't want to dig a trench, so your body kind of pops up out of it. So what you have to embrace in this is you want your arms to come down and through quickly. And your body just needs to operate as a little counterbalance. You don't want to counter fully and back out of it. You just want the heaviness of your body to just allow the arms to swing past. Because if you're trying to jump up and back out of it, it's not helping at all. There you go. All right, much more crisp contact.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do a couple drivers. Same procedure. Let's aim you back over here down the left side. So you're gonna aim at that white flag or that house they're building down there. That white house. There you go. Okay, now let's play the ball. Yeah, let's just go for it. Let's do it. Yeah, I like that one. That was a good one. Yep, 94 miles an hour. Right. Not as solid as you can hit yet. So after you've done this for a week, then we'll start trying to optimize equipment. Start trying to figure out what head and shaft, etc. is best for you. That's all right, went under it. 94.4 miles an hour. So take those, pretty soft hands. It's also beneficial to keep them loose when they're this strong, because when you turn your hand so far to the right and you grip tight, it kind of feels weird on the wrist. Yeah. So you kind of have to lighten up the hands a little bit. That's all right. All right, so acceptable miss, 95 miles an hour. All right, so just for records, let's smash as fast as you can. Let's see if we can get it up there. I think, 96 I think was your best so far. And you've been hitting balls straight for an hour, so big high swing and smash it. Oh yeah, nice. That was really good. I'll give you 97 on that one, because it was 96.5. Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And that didn't feel, that still felt.
Yeah, you still haven't caught them off the sweet spot. I mean, that one was a 1.36 smash.
Yeah, see, most of mine are up.
Yeah. And so we've done such a significant change in an hour that it's just going to take practice now. But remember, when you're practicing this, you shouldn't be practicing at 100% capacity. It's fun to do a couple where you really go after it. But one of the things that you're working on is really kind of toning down the effort of your hips and your shoulders. Mm-hmm. And you were, like you said earlier, you were doing the opposite. You were training to do the opposite. So now, much softer hands, softer arms, stronger grip, higher hands. It's more of a buggy whip kind of effect. You'll always be able to create more speed. The testing that I've done has shown me that I can create 98% of all my distance just with my arms and a bit of a shoulder turn. If I start thrusting into the hips and feet to get any more than that, occasionally I'll get another 2%, right? So for me at 300 yards, that's not very much, right? So now we're talking like 6 yards of improvement, right? So you don't have to do it, and I encourage you to not throw your body into it because it messes up your stability. So every time you come out, the other thing I'm going to do before we're done is I'm going to bend all your irons upright a little bit so at least they're matching for today.
Okay.
And then when you practice, get on a tee at first, even with the irons, because you're working on this hammer flick. You've got to see the club coming through without chunking it and topping it. Because if you start chunking it and topping it, what you'll start doing is start guiding it. You'll start trying to direct the club face, and you're not going to take advantage of all that speed that you're working on. And then I want you to work on it for about a week. I'm going to go play a Colorado Open next week, and if you're in town, we'll get together the week after. And then based on your hammer flicking, then we can start looking at whether or not a better driver, a different shaft, or whatever's going to be better for you.
So how much, if I spend an hour doing this at a time, or?
You don't want to go hours. I would maybe come do it for 30 minutes, then go chip and putt. Then come back and do it for 30 minutes, go chip and putt.
And using all different clubs? Or?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And a good exercise just in period, take your driver, turn it over, put it in your right hand for me, and just grab the club head end. Yeah, and then like we started with that stick, there you go. Just doing some swishes, right? Yep. And then for at-home practice, what I'm going to ask you to do is go in the golf shop and buy one of these Sabers. So swing the heavy end for me. So if you look at the little label right here, it says heavy.
Yep.
And that says light. So grab the heavy end, pull it back. There you go. Right. So same thing, your hammer flicking behind you. And with the weight of that, you can really feel it pull you through. Once you feel the club and the Saber pull you through, then it's like a light bulb goes off. You're like, wait a minute, I just throw it here and the club takes me through. I don't need to pull it through. All right, so flip it over now. And I do a couple with the light end. There you go. Good. Now go to the top and stop. All right, nice big turn. So turn further, look back here at me, there you go. You just heard that little ball drop. Now snap it like we're working. There you go. So when you're aggressive in the snap and you're snapping back here, you can hear the ball. Now what would have happened if we started with the Saber is you would have heard that ball click, but it would have been after impact. Turn it back, wait for it. Yep, turn your shoulders, keep turning, turning. Stand taller, just relax. So relax your shoulders, relax all your muscles. Then give it a flick back here. There you go. Right? So what I would say is, it's getting hotter this summer. You can grab a Saber, go here at the club in the gym, do it in your living room, garage, whatever. Do some swings with this, because what you have to train and what you would love to train in an hour like we did is a whole new muscle firing pattern. And as you got a little bit more tired toward the end, what we noticed was your hips started to turn more, shoulders started to turn more, right? So what happens with the fatigue is we kind of go into survival mode. So we end up reverting backwards to something that's familiar because we're tired and our brain kind of shuts off for a second. But with the instant feedback that you get with a Saber, if you do it 20 swings at a time, take a break, go watch some golf on TV or whatever, run some errands, do some housework, come back, do it again, you would be far better off rewiring the pattern indoors than it is even out here hitting balls.
Okay.
Cool. Any questions?
Nope.
Did we answer your distance issue? Cool. All right. Thanks, Bob. I'll take that back.
Thank
Shake
you.
your hand. Awesome.
Appreciate it.
I'd love to share this with folks on YouTube. Are you okay with me doing that?
Yes.
All right. That'd be great, because I think this will help a lot of people.